Doom Patrol, Doom Patrol. Everybody wants to be on Doom Patrol. Well, not everybody. Well, except maybe that guy who was in the last week's episode, the tourist, who he wanted magnetic feet, but he ended up with a really weird body with a dinosaur head on his shoulder. Well, he'd be happy to join up, though I don't think you'd want him there because he seemed to be perfectly fine with Nazis. So, now we have a new episode of Doom Patrol, this one titled Cult Patrol. Now, why Cult Patrol? Well, it seems we're introduced to the cult of the unwritten book. Yes, and once that book is written and then read, well, that's the end of the universe. Yes, it appears there's a giant eye that will decreate. It is the decreator that will decreate all existence. And there's a whole cult built around that, yeah. The thing about it is the actual book is not the type of book you can just go check out at the library. No, it's a human being who has the writings tattooed on him. And when he reaches his 18th birthday, then it's time to read that book. His parents, turns out, are members of the cult. Yeah, that's right. And have been preparing him for this. And then right at the last minute, it appears the father decides, no, this isn't any good. And he warns his son and tells him to run, get away. But then here comes mommy, and she slits his throat right in front of their young son, who runs, and she chases after him. Then we cut back to our good... Well, first we cut to a man who turns out to be a chaos wizard. But he's also a member of the Knights Templar. Yes, his name's Willoughby Kipling. And is an old friend of Niles Calder. So he shows up at the mansion looking for Niles. He just barges in. And he's kind of a really kind of an overweight, uglier version of John Constantine. That's pretty much what he is. And so he shows up and tells them, well, what the deal is. They're still kind of going through their problems after what happened to them in Paraguay, and their cyborg is ready to plot another attempt at finding Niles Calder when this drops in their lap. And so the wizard convinces them they need to go rescue the book, which they do. It's all very funny how it's done and how he opens a door and all this sort of thing. I won't spoil everything. Needless to say, they get him, but the wizard just wants to kill him. If you kill him and destroy him, burn him all up, then no problem, no one can ever read the book, and the universe is safe. But they just can't bring themselves to do that, now can they? No, they can't. So they got to do things the hard way, and this involves finding out where someone has a stigmata that actually causes gateways to open to this other realm. And this turns out to be a priest, and the Robot Man and Crazy Jane go to confront this guy, and the idea is that all they have to do is stitch up the holes in his hand, and you're good to go. They can't come through anymore. Well, that doesn't work out so great because Jane freaks out, and there's some suggestion that something went wrong with her involving the church, and I don't know that we want to hear that story. So the gateway reacts to this treatment of him, I suspect, and suddenly all Jane and the Robot Man wake up in this other realm, and I'm blanking on the name. Is it Nerfhelm or Nerdheim or something? I'm sure there's a better pronunciation for it, but something along that line. And this seems to be the source of the cult. And so they arrived there. It turns out this is actually taking place inside a snow globe. So, yes, the surrealism is still very much a present here, and that's to be expected. That's what the show is. I forgot, there's a talking horse's head, too. It explains things a little bit. So the minions show up, abduct them, and bring them before what appears to be the king and queen of this realm. Well, it turns out it's the parents in their new forms in this world, which was their reward for doing all their good work in raising the book. And, the father is still dead. He's just sitting there dressed up like a clown, and the mother's in her queen clown outfit. and explaining that all hope's lost. It's all kind of happened, and there's nothing you can do. And Robot Man and Jane have different visions, and Robot Man sees himself as human at one point. Then he's shown to see what he really is just a brain. And he showing visuals of Jane to him, and then suddenly she takes the appearance of his daughter, which of course is blatantly obvious that Jane is a replacement for his daughter to him, and that's why he's always caring about her and everything. Meanwhile, Jane's got her own problems, and well, I'm sure the series will deal with that as it goes forward. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, they're being attacked by assassins intent on that book being read, and they're trying to protect him. And the kid, that's the book, at one point wants to give up and kill himself, but he just can't quite do it. No, he can't. And so they're still trying to protect him. And well, long story short, they fail. There's some fighting with the wizard and Cyborg fighting off the assassins. The assassins themselves is another surrealistic, interesting thing, that they're made up of dead skin cells and letters that were never sent. So each time they knock one out, and Cyborg shoots one, and the other guy, he's got a flaming sword, and he cuts one down. There's just these, pieces of paper of letters just flying everywhere. And so they do all that. But ultimately, it was all for nothing. The boy is seen by the giant eyeball in the sky. It happens, and that's where it ends. The universe is doomed. So, hence Doom Patrol. So, you'll have to tune in next week to see how they get out of this one. So, I don't think this one was as good as the previous one. The previous one was pretty, it was just better. Gory, a little too gory in a lot of places. This one didn't have any of that. But rolling right along, and I don't see anything that damages the show so bad. It's like, oh God, it just took a crap turn. So there's a lot of things. There were some things between Robot Man and Jane that I didn't particularly like, but it fits in with the character of Jane. Jane's not a character you're gonna like. And so it's kind of a strange situation there where I say, well, it still works for the flow of the show. She's judging him for having, brutalized and murdered all those guards back in Paraguay. And, but she did the same thing. So she says, yeah, but I have a reason to live, or some crap like that. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, of course, Jane's just an asshole, and you just gotta get used to that, I guess. That's how that's gonna work. So a 4 out of 5 star episode, I think that'll settle right nicely for Cult Patrol on Doom Patrol. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, while you're here, why not like and subscribe? Yeah, that'd be nice. And check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you.